Hey guys, Jonathan Zed here for JamSports.org. How's it going? I am here to make football picks, NFL picks for week uh, 10 in the NFL. And before I do that, I do want to say this. We had a rough week last week. We went 5-9. We are 0-1 on the week this week. And I want to talk about that game that took place, that Charger-Raider game that took place on Thursday. And there's a lot of people that are saying that Philip Rivers, well, the Chargers have lost, 3 straight. And Philip Rivers is a bad quarterback. No, Philip Rivers isn't a bad quarterback. Philip Rivers is a good quarterback. The problem isn't your quarterback. The problem is the one thing that I've said for the last couple of years that needs to happen. Norv Turner needs to go. He's not a head coach. He's a coordinator. That's it. He can coordinate. He cannot run a football team. So with that, technically we are 5-10. No, hold on, let me rethink that. We are 77-51 on the year, 217 and 138 lifetime, and we are 5-10 in our last 15 games. So need a little bit of work. This video is not going to be real spectacular, real fancy. It's going to be kind of a quick, rapid fire type section. Here we go. We kick things off with New Orleans and Atlanta. I expect a good football game out of this one. If you asked me earlier in the year, what's this football game going to be like? Well, I would have said this. I would have said New Orleans will dominate. However, we have seen over the last couple of weeks that New Orleans has weaknesses, and the Falcons are getting better. The game is in Atlanta. Going to be a tough game for the Saints. Quite frankly, to be honest with you, I don't think that Atlanta. I don't think that New Orleans wins this game. I really don't. New Orleans is a really, really beat up squad. They're not. I don't believe they're going to have Mark Ingram if they can't get the run going. Which without Mark Ingram, they probably won't be able to do. They're going to have problems. Give me the Falcons to beat the Saints. Next up, we have Tennessee and Carolina. This is a tough one right here. Tennessee has yet to really do anything this year that impressed me. Carolina continues to impress me every week, even though I'm not really surprised with what I'm seeing. I've said it all year long. I said it before the year started. Carolina is going to be one of those respectably bad teams. And they showed that. I believe I made the prediction that Carolina will win 4 or 5 games this year. And we will see. I do think that they are going to beat this Tennessee team this weekend in Carolina. Not a real big fan of the Titans. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. This is, I think, going to be the first week that I am down on Cincinnati. This week, I don't think Cincinnati's going to get waxed. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be competitive. I think the Bengals will be able to go in there with Andy Dalton and compete with the Steelers. This is going to be a true test for Andy Dalton. I heard somebody here on YouTube, I'm not going to mention who it was, for a specific reason, but I heard him say that, and he might know who he is if he watches this, that the Bengals haven't played anybody yet. That's why the Bengals are so good, because they haven't played anybody yet. And I went and I looked, and really the Steelers haven't played a ton of tough teams. Yes, they played the Patriots. Yes, they beat them. Are the Steelers a better football team than the Bengals? Yeah, I think they are. But watch out. Here's what you got to watch out for. The Bengals, I think, are going to be the team in the AFC North over the next couple of years to watch, and I'll tell you why. Think about it. The Steelers are slowly starting to get old. That Ravens defense, the Ravens defense is what carries the Ravens. It's been that way for years. The Ravens defense is getting old. The Bengals are fairly young. They're a good football team. They can win games. Give it a little bit. And the Bengals, I think, will be the rulers of the AFC North AFC North in a few years. I do have Pittsburgh beating Cincy St. Louis takes on Cleveland. Yikes, where do you even go with this game? No clue. Not really going to talk about it. I'm just going to pick. I'm going with the Rams. Buffalo and Dallas. This is huge for Dallas. We say it every week, but this is true. Dallas could honestly lose this game. The way they've played the last few weeks and the fact that they can barely beat Seattle at home, Buffalo is better than the Seattle Seahawks. I do think the Cowboys win this game, but for the Cowboys to win this game, you've got to stop Steve Johnson. Okay, you've got to stop the run of the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills don't have that bad of an offense at all. Fitzpatrick's arm isn't super duper strong, but it's not going to have to be. He's going to be dealing with pretty mild temperatures in Dallas. He's not going to have a real strong arm. I think the Cowboys win this game, but I look for it to be extremely close. Next up, we've got Jacksonville taking on Indianapolis. A lot of people are like, Indy's going to finally get a win. Don't say that quite yet. Jacksonville gave Houston fits last week. Jacksonville beat the Ravens on Monday Night Football a couple of weeks back. Jacksonville is slowly getting better. They're slowly coming into their own. Are they going to win the South? I doubt it. But they're slowly coming in to their own. So, it's what I think about that. Watch out, Indianapolis, they're playing for Andrew Luck, and that's just all there is to it. I do have the Jags beating the Colts. Denver and Kansas City. I said last week in the Kansas City-Miami game, I said, look out. I'm picking Kansas City, but watch out for Miami. I for the most part, agree with a lot of what Colin Cowherd from ESPN Radio says, and I didn't listen to him. I didn't. He said that the Dolphins were to beat the Chiefs. I didn't listen to him, and he was right. And yes, I admit I was wrong. And I was wrong badly. What more can you say? I do look for the Chiefs to bounce back against a Denver team. Speaking of that Denver team, they're not going to get very far running the option. The option doesn't work in this day and age in the NFL anymore. Oh, Denver's a mess. Denver is an entertaining mess. Give me the Chiefs to bounce back at home against the Broncos. Washington and Miami. This is going to be a tough football game. Washington is bad. I've said it. John Beck, not good. Rex Grossman, people are like, well, put Grossman in. Well, I can't guarantee Grossman's going to be much better. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's not. Miami coming off of a big win last week. Question is, can they stay on the ground, or are they a little bit too high? That's the question. I'm actually going to go Dolphins in the game and see what happens. Next up, we have Arizona and Philadelphia. Big blowout in this game. Huge blowout. I'm talking maybe 37-3, 30-10, 43-14. I don't even think they'll get 14, but it could happen. Big blowout by the Eagles coming this week, I'm pretty sure. We are still undefeated in our lock of the weeks. Just for the record. And I believe that we will be undefeated at the end of this week even. With it, as we get set to make Philadelphia. This thing isn't queuing up very well. Alright, well, whatever. Philadelphia's our lock of the week. I don't want to really deal with it. So, Philly's our lock of the week. There you go. A lot of the people that I know that do locks are making that their lock of the week. All right, let's continue on. Maybe. Oh, now my lock of the week is gonna queue. Hold on. Alright, well, I ain't got time to wait for you to queue. So, like I already said, Philadelphia's the lock of the week. You guys already know it. I said it. Um, not only is Philadelphia the lock of the week, but Philadelphia, I believe, is the lock of the week to win big. Alright, next up, we have, sorry for the big delay there, Houston and Tampa Bay. I was really surprised with the way Tampa Bay played last week. I thought they played the Saints even better. I did call for a loss. I wasn't 100% comfortable with the loss that I called for, but I still expected them to play better than what they did. Houston, they're showing, I think, that they've got a little bit of weakness. They played fairly strong last week, but Houston has weaknesses. They can be exploited. The game is in Tampa. I'm actually going Bucks. Baltimore and Seattle. Baltimore's traveling. What more can you say? Baltimore, I was impressed with what I saw from Joe Flacco last Sunday night in that final drive. Flacco doesn't ever really impress me a whole lot, but he did impress me last Sunday night on Sunday Night Football against the Steelers in that last drive. He always does play the Steelers pretty well. Um, but I was still a little bit surprised. Seattle, they can play spoiler at any week. They only lost to Dallas by 10. Watch out in this game. Okay, do watch out in this game. I have Baltimore winning, but watch out for Seattle. We could actually see an upset. Detroit takes on Chicago. The Bears really impressed me, even though it was at the expense of a loss to me. The Bears really impressed me with the way they were able to manhandle Philadelphia. Almost surprised me, even. Not gonna lie, almost surprised me with the way they manhandled Philly on Monday night. Yeah, what can you say? And Detroit, they're coming off their bye week. It's going to be interesting. I think Detroit is about ready to kind of crash a little bit. I think they're going to play okay football, mediocre football, not great football down the rest of the stretch for the rest of the year. I do have the Bears, believe it or not, getting a win at home against the Lions. New York Giants traveling cross country to San Francisco never works. Never works traveling cross country. However, I think it's going to. I'm a big believer in the Giants after what I saw against Patriots last week. Yes, the 49ers are a good team. Yes, I've sang Harbaugh's praises and I've sang the 49ers praises as a whole all year long. Not this week. I've got the Giants to win that game. New England and the New York Jets. Everybody says the Jets are going to beat the Patriots. It's going to happen. Vegas. The Vegas spreads have the Jets beating the Patriots. It's going to happen. No, it's not. New England is not going to lose 3 straight, alright? They're not going to lose 3 straight games. Pittsburgh is better than the New York Jets, in my opinion. The Giants are better than the Jets, in my opinion. The Patriots will not lose 3 straight games. They will beat the Jets. The Monday Night Football game, Minnesota and the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to get this out of the way right now. I think... Nah, I'm just kidding. There's no way I'm going to go with the Vikings to beat the Packers. It could happen. It really could. I'm not going to do it, but it could definitely happen. The Vikings played the Packers extremely hard in Minnesota. This is Lambeau. This is different. It'll be a fun. It's going to be fun to watch Christian Ponder again. I do enjoy watching him. I will admit he's really impressed me. I thought he'd be okay out of college. Didn't think he'd do as good as he has in his couple of starts for the Vikings, even if they weren't necessarily winning efforts like the whole Packer deal. But the Packers almost blew it last week against San Diego. They really did. The problem is their defense takes so many risks because they know that Aaron Rodgers will bail them out. Well, Rodgers had a hard time towards the end of the game, almost bailing them out. So those risks are going to hurt you, though, if you try to take those to Christian Ponder. We learned that the first game. Packers can't do that. If they don't take big risks and they just play their football, their pace of football, I think they can win the game. Alrighty, we are way longer than what we should be here in this video. Everything's froze. I can't get to my cam, so I can't stop the video. So I need to. We are at 16 minutes. So, well, I don't know. The time quick. No idea where we are. I'm John from Jam Sports Dog. I just hope the thing saves. I'm out. Peace.